is Jacory, and I chose Mr. Jahko because I teach in elementary school. I teach children art, so I told them to use my name. So I say my name is Mr. Jacory. So I don't let them say like my last name or anything because I don't want to be like that old person, like the old teacher.
Mr. Smith, I didn't get
Yeah,
this right.
right. So I told them to call me that.
What age group kids do you teach?
I teach kindergarten to third. That's
Wow.
the age range.
Wow.
Yep. And that's what actually got me interested in bringing teaching to TikTok because I always felt like I couldn't teach history in the actual classroom because I was an art teacher. So I can't actually, bring that because that's not my subject. So I don't think they would have let me teach on that subject if it wasn't mine.
Although you probably could inject a little bit of history into the art.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I've done that before too. Like for Black History Month, I would tell them to, do some projects on some Black history figures, and then I integrate it that way. But it's really not the same as giving a full-on lesson.
Right, right. So
Mm-hmm.
so what style art do they teach the kids? Just basic stuff, or is there a style that you like to teach them?
I teach them from illustration to arts and crafts to just basically every art form that they would want to use. So I would teach them to be their self, come up with their own style rather than copying someone else's work or tracing over something.
I mean, you look so young that you would be a teacher. Are you still in school for yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm still in school. I was actually I was not really like a full on teacher, but I was a substitute teacher. But I call myself a teacher
Yes,
because I
sure.
was I was in there. I was in there for quite a while. So I call myself a teacher for that reason. And for my first job, I was actually teaching for a summer art camp as
Mhm.
well.
And what grade are you in? What school? All that fun stuff.
I'm at the Ringling College of Art and Design in Florida, Sarasota.
Cool.
And I'm a junior in studying illustration as my major.
Well, good luck. It's my ex from years ago was an illustrator. And
Oh.
yeah, I mean, there was a trend for a moment there a while back, way before you were born, I'm sure,
Mhm.
when it was having like a heyday,
Right.
There was, the advertising industry was using illustration, photography was coming very expensive, and you know,
Hmm.
it's that whole sweet spot of photography advertising is kind of busted since the economy took like a hit in 2008. But
Right.
yeah, no, that was a definite time for illustration to flourish. And
Hmm.
when did you get to TikTok? Were you one of the people that got here because of COVID, or were you there before?
I was here way before. I was here when it was called Musically,
Hmm.
when the app was called Musically. But back then, I didn't really have my teaching style ready yet. So I would do just art, acting, singing. And that's basically what I had on here. I didn't really see it starting to kick off. So then I kind of left and I went to Instagram and I tried on there. So I put my artwork up there. My artwork started to gain traction on there. And then I heard that they turned Musically into TikTok. So I wanted to see what that was. And apparently it was a way that they were able to change the algorithm around so that the people that you don't normally see are boosted up. So that's how I was able to get attention. So for one of my first posts, I did a comedy skit and that was one that blew up. And then after that, I just kept changing whatever style or theme of the videos that I was doing to get different types of audiences because I noticed how when people on TikTok find that one thing that makes them viral, they just keep doing that same thing. I'm not that person. I just do so many different things that I just attract so many people like from different backgrounds. So I put up a video about Black history, then I get a whole bunch of African American followers or people that just want to learn more about Black history. Then I do something about, you know, the different teachings that they don't teach you in school. That's not just Black history, but other races as well. And then that brings even more people in. And then I changed it around. I do some songs in between that introduces all those different song people and theater people. So it's just a variety of people that I'm able to influence. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to do that.
Well, I'm guilty of not changing up myself. I just I'm like a one note thing. I mean, I originally did a couple things that never went anywhere, but I feel like I found my voice and my audience. So
Right.
I'm just going to stay with this for a minute, especially now. It's so important with what's going on politically and the insanity that we're in the midst of. That,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a focused group of people that consistently come back. I mean, when I look at my analytics,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll get like 60% of my followers will be watching it. I get a lot of For You stuff too, but I'm much more, focused on the people that I'm already cultivating, because now that I'm coming up with this thing that I want to invite you to please join us in, is that we're putting together this kind of political TikTok army where all the people that I know or through this or have communicated with are going to, like, I'm talking to different organizations on the ground, like Run for Something, to get into the political system.
Right.
So I'm really keen on kind of creating this thing with the idea is to create like a group of us, to then find a group of us who have a group of us, that when it comes down to it, like we would find, let's say 10 different races. Like we have to keep the House and the Senate, we know that.
Yes.
So that we dispatch a certain amount of our energy to those 5 or 6 swing states to kind of lean on that, to work with the people in the streets. I'm not saying TikTok's going to make, thing, but I think for us to be a cohesive group, I feel like we were really effective leading up to the Biden and the Georgia election. And I
Yeah.
think we did that as individuals because we were very passionate about it, but we were all kind of in our own room doing our thing. And I
Right.
think that we should continue to do that. But if we're able to work with people that have a certain message they want to get across about a certain, you know, candidate, that we kind of, we've obviously connected with thousands of people because of who we are. So if you want us to adopt the message of whatever candidate so that we speak in our own voice, because you don't want
Right.
it to be robotic on message, that won't work,
Yeah.
because we won't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're not getting
Yeah.
paid. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
anyway, so that's the idea. And, they want, of course, a diverse group. They don't want a bunch of old biddies like me, but I'm the one that wants to be like the cheerleader to get a group of people together.
I see. I
I'm
see.
hoping you'll join us in that effort.
Yes, it sounds interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So more will be revealed. I just put a call out on, I did a post saying it recently, like 2 days ago, and I have like 800 people have already emailed in to want to be involved. So I really
That's good.
feel like we could and I haven't even started yet. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's also, we have enough time between now and 2022 to see
Yeah.
which of the candidates that are emerging, because, a few of them are going to stumble. So I don't know. I don't want us to, just lose the energy. I
Yeah.
want us to be able to kind of impact whatever it is we're doing. So do you think you're not gonna go back to doing? You were very political for a while.
Oh, I can definitely go back to that. That's just in my nature of switching back and forth. I
Oh,
do put in some politics in it back and forth sometimes as well with those comments because they come in. But yeah, I definitely will get involved.
how do you deal with? Well, you have a huge following. So how do you
Uh-huh.
do you take the time to either like or respond to some of the people or all of the?
Definitely, definitely. That's basically how I have the amount of followers I do because I actually am a creator that goes in and just looks at the comments. That's where I get most of my content from. I pull them from the comments. I'm replying to the comments and then I'm giving the history or I'm giving the facts back to those comments. So that way, that's kind of educating them, but it's educating them in a way that people are entertained by it because they're like watching me educate somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, I see now."
So what are you looking for? Like, so what do you think's next for you in terms of when you finish school? Where do you want to live? I mean, you have any thoughts on that yet?
Actually, yes. I plan on getting my doctorate's degree.
Ooh, at the
I'm
same
gonna say
school or
I
somewhere?
want that. Yes, while I'm young, I want to get it just so I have that and that you know how when you have that doctor's title, people take you seriously. They don't think you're a joke. I just feel that if I had that title, then I would be taken more seriously. Not only that, in the workspace as well. So you don't see many doctor illustrators out there.
Right, right.
And I want to be one of those people that, steps up to the challenge and writes my own book about how I came to be and things like that. That sounds very fun to me.
And I see Dr. Jahko in the future as you.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'll have to have a ceremony like
Mm-hmm.
for the Mr. becoming a doctor. It's like they
Yes.
becoming man versus, man becoming.
Right, right.
Where are you from originally?
I am from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, you're kidding. How
Yeah.
long have you been in Florida? Since school?
We just moved here after this whole pandemic and everything. We decided to move because this was like the perfect time. We were supposed to move here like about 2 years ago, but we were stalled because of school, and then the pandemic and everything happened. So then we ended up moving down here.
You live at home with your family?
Yes, but this will be the last year of that, and
Why?
after, yeah, and then I'm gonna graduate college and I'm gonna get my own townhome.
Ooh.
So I'm starting off small. And
Until the mansion hits, you mean?
right.
You got castle fever? So what other things do you like want to share about yourself that
I was an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I was an actor, so that's where I get kind of my um dialect, the way I speak, the way I portray information, and how I memorize the information. Because I know that if you noticed in some of my videos, I don't really do that pause thing that a lot of people do on TikTok when they pause to read something and then they say. I just memorize what I'm gonna say. I write it, type it out, and then I memorize it, and then I just keep redoing it until it comes out like I'm saying it all in one. So it looks like I just came up with that on the spot, but it's really memorized. Yeah.
So how long do you prepare for how many posts do you do a day?
I have actually went down in my posting because of the schoolwork, the amount of schoolwork that this school gives. I used to post like every day, but now I post sporadically. Sometimes I just duet videos because I can't even post that day.
Right.
So I really slacked off, but honestly, TikTok is not paying me that much money that I have to put all my energy and time into it, that I should be focusing into the school. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, that's rational. If you have stuff to do, I mean, I'm kind of obsessing on it currently because the film that I'm working on has kind of been shut down due to COVID, but I'm still using the message of the name of the song, which is "Won't Be Silent," which is why it's
right.
all about, speaking out and being aware that nothing that is going around us should be like swept under the rug.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm doing this initiative really now, because it keeps me like connected to the mission of the project.
Exactly.
And I'm getting like amazing feedback. I feel like so blessed for the whole thing.
All right.
Well, be good, dog. Take care. I'll see you on
Thank
the
you.
virtual.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care.
We won't be silent.